Hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. Oh my goodness, I'm super excited to connect with all of you today, as always. Today we're talking about nurse retention failure and what we can do about it, okay? For the last few weeks, I've really been talking about many of the issues and problems that nurses are experiencing within our broken healthcare system, right? And so I think we would be not really covering this completely if we didn't talk about the massive failure to retain nurses who are currently working in healthcare. Are you with me? That's a mouthful, I know, but we need to understand that nurses are not leaving the workforce, they're not leaving their jobs because they can't handle the work, okay? They're leaving instead because it's not safe for them to be there. They're consistently challenged to choose between overexhaustion and maybe taking care of themselves. There's just a lot of things that are fighting against each other in the current system, the way healthcare is managed. So nurses are not leaving because they can't handle the work. They're leaving because of the systemic issues, things like lack of support, lack of leadership, feeling undervalued, unappreciated, ignored, isolated, all of those things. All right. So really important for us to know. We can talk about new nurses, and I've said over the last couple of weeks several times, if you're not aware of this number, you need to know it. 33% of new graduate nurses leave the profession within the first 2 years. Okay. That is massive. Why is that so massive? Because can you see that we will never resolve the nurse staffing crisis if a third of our new graduates are leaving almost as soon as they come to the profession, and they're leaving nursing entirely, not just changing jobs, okay? So that's a really big deal. Also, we know that 60% of our experienced and seasoned nurses are reporting symptoms of burnout. Why does all of this matter? It matters because when at the end of the nurse retention and nurse staffing crisis is patient care. I was talking with a dear friend of mine the other day, Dr. Julie Seamers, and she shared with me that there are more than 500 medical errors made in this country every single day, okay? Every single day, and people are dying from these medical errors, all right? So this is a big, big deal. It's a massive problem, but when you hear nurses saying things like, our staffing ratios are unsafe, this is why. This is why. How much louder do nurses need to say it? What we're doing is not safe, okay? And there is always a patient at the end of the equation. When nurses don't have enough resources, when we don't have enough staff, when we don't have enough leadership, when we don't have mentorship, there's always a patient at the end of the line, right? Where if you draw those flow charts, the patient is the terminus. That's where everything happens. So we really need to be doing so much more to support our nurses. There's something I stumbled across today said that trial by fire is not onboarding. And boy, does that speak to nursing many, many times. Trial by fire is not onboarding. We've also got to leave behind our nurses eat their young culture and step into a new day where nurses feed their young and recognize that we need our young and that our new graduate nurses are like diamonds to be polished, right? We really need to covet them and be so grateful that we've got them and an opportunity to mentor and support them. And we can't say anymore, I wasn't mentored when I was a new graduate, so why should I mentor you? That is never going to solve our problem. That will never move us through to the other side, okay, to a better future for nursing. So we also need to look at, the lack of work-life balance that nurses have, shift work requirements, all of these things. Yes, it worked in the last 100 years or so, but does it work today? Is there not something different that we can try to create a more balanced approach to life for nurses? Okay, it's just time for us to look at it all. Now, how can we improve retention? How can we do that? Okay, so let's talk about it. Your seasoned nurses who are in the workplace right now, if you have nurses on your team that have been with you And I want to say the average experience of a nurse in the workforce today is about 2 years. So if you have a nurse on your team that's been with you 2 years or longer, you need to be having what's called stay interviews with those nurses. What keeps you here? You know, amidst all of the turnover that you must see and all of the things that are going on, what keeps you here? And on the flip side of that, you need to be asking, what would ever cause you to leave? Okay. What would ever cause you to leave? What would make you think of leaving? Get ahead of the ball. We've got to be ahead in the game, and we need to be learning from these nurses who are with us. What keeps you here, and why would you ever think of leaving? Right? Valid questions. Very valid questions. So stay interviews. And can you see how having a stay interview would be a great way of also saying, you know what, I really value you. I'm so grateful you've been with us as long as you have. Allow your nurses to feel seen, heard, and appreciated. And you know what? When nurses tell you what it is that they need, listen. Listen and act. That is what it's going to take to keep nurses in the game. All right? That is what it's going to take. So I can't stress enough the importance of something like a stay interview, not an exit interview necessarily, but a stay interview. Let's flip the script. Let's don't wait until our nurses are leaving to finally say, oh, wow, sorry you're leaving us. I wonder what we might have done better. Do you care to tell us? Okay, that's really not the best approach, guys. Really not the best approach. So we need to foster a supportive work environment, of course, all of these things. The Commission for Nurse Reimbursement, led by Rebecca Love and others, is working right now to establish nursing as a billable service in healthcare. If you don't know it, we don't have a line item on any hospital bill, okay, or any organizational bill for the services that nursing provides. We are bundled into room and board. So whenever a hospital or healthcare organization looks at cutting costs, they look at room and board charges. And that is where nursing salaries, wages, benefits, everything is bundled into that lump. Okay. I don't believe that's fair or just, considering that all of our ancillary departments, all of our healthcare partners, whether they be physicians, physical therapists, occupational therapists, radiologists, ultrasound, whatever, everybody has a line item and are able to bill for the services that they provide. Not so with nursing. So we're working on changing that right now. And if you're not already involved with the Commission for Nurse Reimbursement, I want to encourage you to follow them on social media and get behind that cause, because we need it desperately to elevate our profession. Bottom line, everybody, a thriving nurse is a retained nurse. Nurses have told me in a recent survey that they want to thrive both personally and professionally. It's not enough to thrive as a professional nurse. And I'll be the first one to tell you that, because it was when I was thriving in an unbalanced, unaligned way back in 2010 that I experienced burnout to the point of true clinical depression and was unable to work for 3 long years. Okay, this can happen. And there was a time when I actually didn't want anybody to know that story or know that about me. And today I truly don't care, because I would never wish what happened to me to happen to another nurse. Okay, we have to understand that nurses are holistic. We need to thrive in nursing. We need to thrive in life. We need to be able to align our career choice with what we value, whether that be our family, whether it be our travel, whether it be anything in our life that we personally value. We need to be able to align our career with our personal values. Otherwise, what I see as the biggest cause of burnout and depression and anxiety among nurses is living out of alignment with what they value most. That's my personal story as well. So a thriving nurse is a retained nurse. When nurses feel supported, they stay. When they feel valued, they don't want to leave the profession. And when they thrive, you know what else? Patient care outcomes improve. Okay? All of this improves. So I want to invite you to join our priority notification list for the Thriving Nurse Network. We are launching our brand new community here within the next few weeks. I would love for you to be the very first to learn about it. we are going to be connecting you with professional support and resources that is not connected to any employer. We are a freestanding nurse-led peer support community with the desire of just supporting and mentoring nurses so that they can grow sustainable nursing careers. We want to be the change that can improve the future of nursing by easing the burden of nurse turnover and improving nurse retention. Click the link below this video, check out the Thriving Nurse Network, go ahead and get on our list, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.